Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our salutations to the Almighty, respected elders, brothers and sisters, and all joining us live. Good evening and Sai Ram to all. We will now have a recap of two significant events held over the past 2 days. First, the world's first free international conference on robotic and endoscopic cardiac surgery at the Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, and the 2-day Atma Samiksha, the conclave of missionaries. Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, in collaboration with Manipal Group of Hospitals, Kolkata, and SS Innovations International, Gurugram, successfully hosted the world's first free international conference on robotic and endoscopic cardiac surgery on 11th and 12th July 2026.
Conceived as a first-of-its-kind global academic initiative, the conference brought together internationally renowned cardiac surgeons, faculty, innovators, and medical professionals with a common purpose of advancing robotic and endoscopic cardiac surgery while making world-class surgical education accessible without financial barriers. The overwhelming response reflected the need for such a program. More than 256 applications were received for only 80 available seats. Owing to the exceptional interest, the organizers expanded the intake to accommodate 114 cardiothoracic and vascular surgeons from across India, providing them with a unique opportunity to learn from leading experts through live surgeries, scientific discussions, and hands-on training.
The conference was inaugurated in the presence of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, founder of the One World, One Family mission, Sri Prabhuji, IAS Deputy Commissioner and District Magistrate of Chikballapura District, Dr. Satish Babu KN, Director of Academics, SMSIMSR, Dr. Sandeep Sardar, Organizing Chair, and Dr. C.S. Hiremat, Organizing Secretary. Joining virtually was Dr. Sudhir Srivastava, founder and chairman of SS Innovations International and father of Indian robotic surgery, who addressed the gathering online. Sri Prabhuji, IAS, described the conference as a defining moment where science, technology, education, and humanity converge. He emphasized that the true value of medical innovation lies in improving the lives of those who need it most, and commended SMSIMSR for demonstrating that cutting-edge healthcare and compassion can coexist, making advanced medical technologies accessible free of cost. He also affirmed the district administration's continued support for initiatives that promote healthcare, education, innovation, and public welfare, recognizing the institution's contribution in placing Chikballapura on the global medical map.
Sadguru, in his inaugural address, highlighted that healthcare must combine clinical excellence with compassion, reaffirming the institution's commitment to nurturing doctors who are not only highly competent but also deeply committed to serving humanity. He emphasized the importance of collaboration among institutions to make advanced healthcare technologies accessible to all and encourage delegates to work together to build a future where innovation ultimately benefits patients. A major highlight of the inaugural ceremony was the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, Manipal Group of Hospitals, Kolkata, and SS Innovations International. The agreement establishes the International Endoscopic and Robotic Cardiac Surgery Conference as a biennial international academic program, creating a long-term platform for scientific exchange, technology transfer, live operative demonstrations, structured hands-on training, and the development of future leaders in minimally invasive cardiac surgery. Dr. C.S. Hiremat, Chief Cardiac Surgeon and Director of the Heart Valve Bank and Academics, will serve as the principal coordinator for this collaborative program among the three institutions.
The scientific program commenced with 3 live surgical demonstrations showcasing the latest advancements in minimally invasive cardiac surgery. The most significant milestone was a live telerobotic cardiac surgery demonstration in which Dr. Sudhir Srivastava successfully performed a robotic atrial septal defect closure on a patient at SMSIMSR while operating remotely from New Delhi using the SSI Mantra surgical robotic system. The complex procedure demonstrated the immense potential of telerobotic surgery to bridge geographical barriers and expand access to specialized cardiac care. The patient remained stable and was shifted to the intensive care unit following the procedure. It was the toughest surgery performed by the father of robotic surgery of India, as the heart was not seen due to dense adhesion surrounding the heart. The surgery lasted 10 hours, but the surgeon was determined to perform telerobotic surgery, setting a world record.
The program also featured a live aortic valve replacement transmitted from Greece and a live sinus venous ASD repair from KG Hospital, Coimbatore, allowing delegates to observe advanced surgical techniques performed by leading international and national experts with totally endoscopic 3D vision. Throughout the day, delegates participated in scientific lectures, case discussions, and interactive sessions led by an international faculty representing India, Greece, Germany, China, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brazil, and the United States. A well-received panel discussion on how can India become the global hub for endoscopic and robotic cardiac surgery explored opportunities for collaboration, innovation, indigenous technology, capacity building, and global partnerships to position India as a leader in minimally invasive cardiac surgery.
The second day focused on experiential learning through intensive hands-on workshops. Delegates underwent structured training in endoscopic cardiac surgery using bovine heart models, gaining practical exposure to endoscopic instrumentation, operative techniques, and valve procedures through faculty-guided simulation. Parallel sessions in robotic cardiac surgery were conducted aboard the Robot on Wheels mobile training platform using porcine heart models, where participants received hands-on experience in robotic system setup, console orientation, instrumentation, and simulation-based surgical techniques.
A new benchmark in surgical education by bringing together global expertise, indigenous innovation, live telerobotic surgery, and practical simulation-based training, the conference established a new benchmark for cardiac surgical education in India. Offered entirely free of registration charges, the program democratized access to advanced training that would otherwise require substantial expenditure overseas, reaffirming the One World, One Family mission's commitment to making excellence in healthcare education accessible to all.
The conference concluded with a shared commitment from the three collaborating institutions to continue advancing robotic and endoscopic cardiac surgery through education, innovation, research, and international collaboration. This entire academic offering was placed at the lotus feet of Sadguru as part of the celebrations marking his birthday, reflecting the mission's belief that the highest purpose of knowledge is to serve humanity with compassion.
The inaugural session of the second edition of Atma Samiksha was marked by the ceremonial lighting of the lamp by Sadguru and the sacred Vedic chanting by the students of the Department of Vedic Studies. Through the inaugural reflections, we were reminded that Atma Samiksha is an opportunity to introspect, reaffirm our commitment to the ideals of the missionary life, and realigning ourselves with the timeless principle of Atmana Mokshartam Jagat Hitayacha, working for one's own liberation while dedicating oneself to the welfare of the world. Sadguru said one should become a missionary both in letter and spirit by sacrificing our petty comforts and for the larger good of the world.
The subsequent sessions provided opportunities for reflection and learning. Following the introductory address by Ms. Shweta JC, faculty from Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, a comprehensive recap of the first edition of Atma Samiksha was presented by Sister Vidya Mari, the Upapalaka of Sri Sathya Sai Meenakshi Niketanam campus. Later, there were inspiring presentations on Spurti Kirana, organized as part of the centenary celebrations of Sri Madhyal Narayan Bhatt. These presentations eloquently illustrated the timeless vision of our revered founder and how Sadguru is expanding that vision into a global movement of service, education, and transformation.
The impact reports presented by our brothers and sisters from various campuses further demonstrated how these sessions have strengthened the resolve of every missionary to contribute meaningfully towards nation building through self-transformation. A defining highlight of the day was the panel discussion on Tyaga Jivana. Through profound reflections and insightful deliberations, the distinguished panelists explore the true essence of sacrifice, not merely as the renunciation of material comforts, but as the conscious dedication of one's time, talents, and life itself in the service of a higher purpose.
The most cherished moments of the day were those spent in the divine presence of our beloved Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. In the interactive question and answer session, Sadguru graciously addressed the questions raised by the staff and students with remarkable clarity, compassion, and wisdom. His responses not only resolved doubts but also deepened our understanding on the mission, strengthened our conviction, and inspired each one of us to pursue the path of selfless service with greater faith, dedication, and unwavering purpose.
The second and final day of Atma Samiksha, the conclave of missionaries, commenced with two enlightening discourses by Swami Atmapriyanandaji, whose profound insights beautifully blended spiritual wisdom with practical guidance for a life of purpose and service. Their reflections challenged us to rise above individual aspirations and embrace the larger vision of selfless living. Following which, Sadhguru spoke about the importance of having good company and the kind of inspiration they provide us. He spoke of different types of devotees and urged everyone to be the best of his devotees with complete surrender.
In the next session, Dr. B.N. Narasimhamurthy Sir had an interactive question and answer session. Following the morning sessions, representatives from every section of the educational institutions, from pre-university to postgraduate students to interns and palakas, shared their reflections and key learnings from the previous day's deliberations and the morning's inspiring talks. There was also a feedback on the Spurti Kirana sessions from representatives across all the campuses. These reflections highlighted the enduring relevance of the vision of Sri Madhyal Narayan Bhatt and illustrated how those ideals continue to inspire and shape individuals across diverse campuses, strengthening the spirit of the mission in every sphere of activity.
The post-lunch session featured an engaging panel discussion on the theme of the ever-growing One World, One Family mission and its evolving needs. Moderated by Sister Krishna Subhaga, the discussion explored the true spirit of Loka Seva Vrinda, inviting every participant to reflect upon how each individual can meaningfully contribute to this expanding global mission.
The day concluded with an interactive question and answer session with Sadhguru, where his responses provided deeper spiritual perspectives and practical guidance, inspiring everyone to approach both personal growth and service with renewed sincerity and dedication.
We will now hear two reflections from the participants of the Atma Samiksha session who will share their understanding and key learnings. First, we have Sister Bhuvaneshwari. Bhuvaneshwari joined this institution as a pre-university student. She went on to complete a master's degree in physics and now serves as an Upapalaka at the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, Nallakadrinalli campus. She also serves as the conductor of the Sai Symphony Orchestra for Girls Troupe, inspiring students through both academics and music. Sister Bhuvaneshwari.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of Swami, respected elders, and all my dear brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to all. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. This sacred shloka explains beautifully about the importance of Guru in one's life. A Guru is not just a teacher, but he is the one who transforms our lives, shows the direction, and helps to find a true purpose of life. I joined this institution for my PUC. Until my 10th standard, I studied in Bangalore. My parents are well settled. Despite having everything, I never lacked anything materially. But still, I felt a sense of emptiness within me. When I came here for the first time, I felt a sense of belonging, that I truly belonged to this place. Until my PUC, I was just studying for the sake of studies without any clear goal or purpose in my life. But one incident has completely changed my perspective. When we had gone to Gulbarga campus for the inauguration of our university, we were waiting outside the railway station for the bus to arrive. There, I noticed a fruit seller along with a little child who was selling a fruit which I had never seen it before. With curiosity, I just approached the little child and asked casually, "What do you like?" His answer has deeply touched my heart. He said, "You would like to go to school." I never expected this answer. I thought he would tell that he would like to become a doctor or engineer or anything great. but his only wish was to receive an education. And that day I realized the value of what I have been blessed with. Swami is giving us everything, even before we ask and even before we knew that we needed it in our life. As a student, I was convinced that I wanted to serve, but I didn't have clarity about what truly service meant. After completing my studies and beginning with work, I felt this was the right time to give back what I had received. Then I gradually understood, this mission is not just about serving others, but it is mainly about transforming ourselves. Then there was a little confusion in my mind. If I want to transform myself, what should I do? And that was the right moment where the Atma Samiksha Part 1 was conducted the last time. After attending the Atma Samiksha session, the Part 1 of Atma Samiksha session, I understood if I want to transform myself, I need to first find out where I am lacking in. So in order to understand deeper, I picked up a quality to practice in my daily life. That is, Mayar Pita Mano Buddhihi, meaning surrendering one's mind and thought at God's feet. Because I felt my mind was an obstacle which was there between me and God. When I started to practice this quality in my daily life, in the initial stage it was very difficult as I was unable to offer my thoughts at God's feet. When I was consistently seeing upon it why I was unable to offer it, I understood the fear and hesitation of offering my thought was just because of the fear of losing my own wishes and desires. Then I realized the greatest obstacle to do a selfless service was never outside me. It was nothing but my own attachments, expectations, and personal desires. And that day I understood. This transformation gave me clarity that if I want to be selfless and to do a selfless service, I can't keep on building my attachments. Instead, gradually I need to let go of them. Swami always keeps up his words. Once he accepts us, he takes full responsibility of us. But our responsibility is just to remain true for the word which we gave him. And this Atma Samiksha session gave me full clarity about what really a missionary is. I understood this mission is not about what we do, but mainly about what we become in the process. Swami, it is only because of your grace that I have been blessed with parents who is always supportive and tell me, just do whatever Swami tells. And I can proudly tell, as a girl, getting this kind of support from parents is one of the greatest blessings I could ever receive. And now, before attending the session 2 of Atma Samiksha session, I was having a little bit of confusions as to how to go about it. But now, I have a full clarity about what is a mission and what one should be to be a missionary. It's nothing but I need to be full selfless. I need to do a selfless service by being selfless, and it is possible only if you have faith in God and surrender at our Guru's feet. At last, I would like to conclude by praying, Swami, bless me always to remain as an instrument in your hands. May I never forget the purpose for which you have brought me here. Strengthen my faith, deepen my surrender, and let all my actions and thoughts be surrendered at your feet. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Next, we have Brother Prem Sai, Brother Prem Sai joined the institution in the 11th grade and went on to complete his bachelor's degree in Vedic studies, followed by a 2-year internship at Muddenahalli. He is currently pursuing his master's degree in Vedic studies. Alongside his studies, he has the privilege of serving as the executive assistant to Dr. B.N. Narasimhamurthy sir. Brother Prem Sai.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our collective salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Sadguru. Respected elders, teachers, and all my dear brothers and sisters, a very hearty Sai Ram. At the outset, I would like to express gratitude on behalf of the students and all the staff to Sadguru and the members of the organizing team for arranging the Atma Samiksha sessions, which over the past 2 days have been a huge source of inspiration and clarity for all of us. During these sessions, we had the opportunity to listen to different individuals share their perspectives and views about the mission and on Tyagajivana. More importantly, we had the great fortune of Sadguru shed light on what is Tyagajivana, what is its importance in the context of the mission, and how one can lead such a life. These sessions give clarity to every individual about various aspects of Tyagajivana, and personally, they have made 2 things very clear. The first is that to walk on the path of Tyagajivana, spiritual practice is essential. Without spirituality in our life, it doesn't matter if we remain unmarried or if we have renounced all our wealth, we cannot truly be called a Tyagajivi. It is only this absolute selflessness that is a result of spirituality that allows one to be a Tyagajivi. And when I think about this, I'm once again reminded of how fortunate all of us are to be a part of an institution like this. And above that, to have a guru like Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. While most gurus in the world may impart spiritual knowledge, they're not concerned about whether the devotee or disciple puts it into practice, whether he imbibes what is being taught. But Sadguru is not like that. He ensures that after we receive this knowledge from him, it does not remain as mere theoretical knowledge, but it transforms into experiential knowledge. And these institutions which he has started serve as the perfect platform for all of us to practice what we have learned from him properly and imbibe what he is trying to convey to us. Swami, a few days back you had said that it is only those who are original in their approach and who are honest with themselves who achieve success in life. And I believe that the same principle can be applied to spirituality as well. It is only when we realize that the spiritual path of each individual is unique, and when we are honest with not only ourselves but also with God, that we attain success on the spiritual path. Initially, this was something that was difficult for me, because I used to constantly compare myself with others. When I listened to others sharing the different spiritual sadhanas that they were doing and the benefits or the joy that they were experiencing, I would be influenced to follow what they were doing. And there was no stability in my spiritual practice. I was constantly changing what I was doing, and this only resulted in me experiencing frustration, and I was confused. But after a point, I realized that this is not, yielding any fruits. So I sought the advice of my elders. Through their guidance, I identified that spiritual practice which was unique to me, which was suitable for my temperament. And as I began to consistently practice this one thing, I began to experience the joy and contentment from my sadhana. At the same time, I realized that while the paths may be different, the goal is ultimately the same. And this brings me to the second understanding that I gained through the Atma Samiksha sessions. That is, Tyagajivana is not the end goal. It is a path towards a goal. In 1960, when Sri Madhyala Narayan Bhatt started these institutions, he named them Loka Seva Vrinda with the lofty vision that in the future, these institutions will grow to such a stature that they will serve the entire world. And he also laid out the path for this vision to materialize through the mission statement, Atmano Mokshartam Jagat Hitayacha. Personally, I understand this statement as it is only possible to truly serve the world when you have realized yourself. And I believe that Madhyal Narayan Bhatt envisioned the concept of Tyaga Jivana in this context as the most efficient path to realize oneself. In the Vedantic text, Ashtavakra Gita, King Janaka asks the sage Ashtavakra 3 questions. Katam Gnanam Avapnoti, Katam Muktir Bhavishyati, Vairagyam cha Katam Praptam, Etad Bruhi Mama Prabho. O Lord, kindly guide me on how one attains knowledge, how one attains liberation, and how discrimination dawns in an individual. And in response, the sage Ashtavakra replies, Mukti michasi chetat, Vishayan Vishavatyaja, Kshamarjava Dayatosha, Satyam Piyusha Vadbhaja. Dear child, if you are truly desirous of liberation, you have to first cast aside all material objects as if they were poison. And second, you have to adopt these 5 virtues. Kshama, forgiveness. Arjava, sincerity. Daya, compassion. Tosha, contentment. And Satya, that is honesty. But in my opinion, the first step on the process of attaining liberation does not begin with any of these 5 qualities, but is hidden in the first phrase which Ashtavakra utters. Mukti michasi chetat. It is this desire for liberation that is the key to the attainment of moksha. It is only when we desire to attain it that we will even begin to start putting efforts to attain the goal. And the purpose of all spiritual sadhana, in my opinion, is to, one, instill this desire and to enhance this desire to such an extent that all other desires fade away. As Rumi says, in my one desire to know you, all other desires faded away. It's the same with spiritual sadhana. It is to increase the intensity of that one desire so that all the other desires for the material objects in the world fade away. And that is what will allow us to attain that goal of self-realization. Personally, this statement itself, Mukti Michasi Chetat, has been a tremendous source of support and guidance to me whenever I face difficulty or challenges on this path. Whenever I get distracted or lose sight of the goal, I keep repeating the statement, Mukti Michasi Chetat, Mukti Michasi Chetat. And I ask myself, are you truly desirous of liberation? Is that your top priority, or have you lost sight of it and are chasing behind other things? And when I think about this, I'm reminded to again look at this, what I consider to be the most important goal, and ignore everything else. And this inspires me to renew my efforts, renew my sadhana, so that I can attain that. And Swami, I am eternally grateful to you and to this institution for giving me a platform, one, to practice this, and more importantly, for making me aware of what is truly important in life. In 2018, when I first joined as a student in this institution, the first prayer that I had made to Bhagwan that time was, Swami, please take care of my parents. That day he looked into my eyes and with a smile he said, I'm already taking care of them, you do not need to worry. Since then, not only my parents, but even my sibling has become a part of this institution. And today I can confidently say that they are happier now than they've ever been in their life. It is said that if you do God's work, God will do your work. But in this case, before I've even started doing God's work, God has already fulfilled all my responsibilities. Therefore, Swami, there is only one prayer that emerges from the bottom of my heart which I would like to offer before you today. Make me an instrument in your hands. Make me a convenient instrument in your hands. Chisel away all my desires, my selfishness, my ambitions, and even my individuality, and mold me into that perfect vessel who only exists for your sake and for nothing else. Let my life be only for the sake of you and for the sake of this mission. And if anything else even attempts to arise, please cut it away. With these words, offering these words as Swami's lotus feet, I conclude. Thank you.
We now request Dr. B.N. Narasimhamurthy sir to address the gathering.
Dearest Swami, brothers and sisters, very dear students, boys and girls. The maturity and clarity with which Bhuvaneshwari and Prem Sai have spoken has really astounded me. This is the fulfillment of an educational system which sincerely combines Paravidya with Aparavidya, with good depth of knowledge in how the educational systems are working today in our country and all over the world. I can say that the kind of products of our university, girls like Bhuvaneshwari, boys like Prem Sai, they don't exist in any university anywhere in the world. And this has been possible because Sadguru, he took the radical step of revolutionizing the education at Muddenahalli and the allied institutions. It's a revolutionary step. Nobody will have courage to do it. Nobody will have courage to do it. And he took up this with a vision to create great citizens of this country and great citizens of this world, wonderful servants of this country and wonderful servants of the whole world. What we generally see in secular educational system, when a teacher completes his work with the student gets a degree, the student and his parents, they celebrate. And Bhuvaneshwari very clearly pointed out what is the difference between a guru and a teacher. When a guru completes his work with the Shishya, God celebrates with the guru. See, that is the difference. It is not just students and parents. When students get a degree, naturally students and parents celebrate. But when a guru holds the hand of a Shishya and takes him or her across the ocean of samsara, the celebration is done by God with the Guru, because God gave the human birth to all human beings with this one and the only purpose of God realization. And when this kind of wisdom dawns to you, when you are quite young, I tell you, they will become very great achievers. I can foresee that. At that young age, they have that spiritual maturity and the clarity of thought. They will definitely take them a long way in achieving what they want to achieve. And at this point of time, my heart is overflowing with gratitude on behalf of all the students of all our institutions to Sadguru for having done this. You might not have, I am telling the students, you might not have understood what he has done for you, what he has done with you, but I know it. Therefore, the potential of what Sadguru has done with each and every one of his students, boys and girls, is such a wonderful potential. It can change the face of humanity. It can change the face of the world, because it was E.F. Schumacher who said, talking about technology and economics, he said, We want technology with a human face. We want economics with a human face. But fundamentally, we want human beings with a human face. Today, we don't have it. If you analyze what is the root cause of all the problems that are haunting the world today, human beings are not human. They don't have a human face. The human face has been disfigured. Therefore, is there anybody doing very sincerely an attempt to put the human face on the faces of human beings? I would like to tell you with authority, with the inspiration of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, it is Sadguru and Sadguru alone who is doing it so seriously and sincerely. See, this is what we have to understand. Maybe there are institutions which they call, we are also importing spiritual education, but not with this seriousness. See, when you do it with such seriousness and sincerity, naturally the outcome also is really astounding. The Atma Samiksha program, about which Sriniket told all of you, is a very unique program. In any educational system, in any university, absolutely unique. When I was listening to the report of activities that happened in the last 3 days, D.V. Gundappa said, Rushi Vakya Dodane Vijnana Kale Medavise Jasavu Janajivanake Munkutimma. It simply translates into, when Rushi Vakya, the ancient wisdom, is coupled with Vijnana, science and technology on one side, and Kale, the art on the other side, that is when real emancipation of humanity happens. That's what he said. In the last 3 days, all these 3 things come together. The endoscopic and robotic surgery conference is absolutely unique. And the trainers, the experts who came, they mostly came from the corporate hospitals. And they are so happy to impart this education to any deserving and enthusiastic surgeons, completely free of cost. They are ready to do, but their hospitals don't allow them. Even for just witnessing a robotic surgery happening, money is charged. I heard it is about 1 lakh rupees just to witness that surgery. And for the first time anywhere in the world, completely free of cost. So there was such a big rush for the delegates, and definitely we could not take everybody. See, that is science and technology coming together with compassion, which is the essence of ancient wisdom. And even Kale, the art, last 3 days of the cultural programs, I had no occasion to compliment them. I would like to congratulate all the students and the teachers and their trainers. They put up such wonderful shows. I have been a part of all the convocation dramas, starting from the first in 1983-84, till now. And I can tell you, their standard of presentations was wonderful. Especially the Lavani, on the first day put up by our Prashant Nikethanam girls, was very, very impactful. Very, very important. It's a folk song singing, but when it was combined with modern technology, it was something so very impressive and so very effective. And even the drama Tatvamasi put up by them, and the miming program by the Mandya students was so very impact-making, I would say. And that is why Sadguru said, because the title of their presentation was Sadguru, our hope. When Sadguru came here, what did he say? My students say that I am their hope, but I want to convey that students are my hope. Students are my hope. And even the little girls, combined with their teachers yesterday from Jaipura, they did such a wonderful job. How a student is transformed, how a parent is transformed in our institutions. And this Atma Samiksha represents ancient wisdom, cardiac surgery conference, the science and technology, and these presentations, the arts, it was a confluence of all the three, Rushivakya, Vijnana, and Kale. And most important thing is the outcome of the Atma Samiksha program. For those who are not a part of the Atma Samiksha, for obvious reasons, I would like to give a little glimpse of what had happened. The report has been already presented before you. I'm not going to speak those things. Last January, the first Atma Samiksha program happened. This idea, Atma Samiksha, was not anybody's child. It is Sadguru's child only. We never thought of this Atma Samiksha. Actually, being followers of Narayan Bhatt, we should have been the first to think of it, but we had never thought about it. It's Sadguru who thought about it. And last time, the participants, it was made almost mandatory for all our postgraduate students and those who have passed the post-graduation, or those who have settled down as palakas, or engineers, or accountants, our own students. It was, everybody, was called for all this. This time Sadguru made a change, very subtle change, but I tell you, it was very, very revealing. Sadguru, in fact, told us, this time, we will give choice to people, the palakas, engineers, our students, or accountants, or auditors, or anybody who has undergone a professional courses, we will give a choice. Only if they choose to be participants, they can come. They have to register. Without registration, no entry. What does it mean? See, these young boys and girls above 26, 27, 28, around that, they are in a position to take a call. Whether we can respond to the clarion call of Sadguru to give 100% of their time, energy, and resources to the mission, or if you don't want to take this opportunity. And I was wondering how many of these boys and girls would come forward. But I was so very astonished that more than 70% of these boys and girls chose and gave their commitment, we are going to be missionaries. More than 70%. During the times of Narayan Bhatt, the number of missionaries was around 40, 50, maybe maximum 60. And I was always looking for the number 100, but it never ever happened. And in the Atma Samiksha, we had 250 voluntary missionaries who attended Atma Samiksha. I am telling you, Madhyal Narayan Bhatt's soul would be rejoicing. Rejoicing, and what a wonderful scene that was. It was Swami Vivekananda who said, for any humanitarian mission, two things are required: men and money. When he said men, it included women also. But what kind of men and women is the question. Men and money. And then he was asked whether it is men first or money first. He said men first. If there are absolutely selfless men and women at the helm of affairs of a mission, money will flow into that place. Whatever is required will come there. This is what Vivekananda said. And now it is proved in our mission, this has been proved. What is the basis of One World, One Family mission? I would like to tell you without any hesitation, it is the absolute and complete selflessness of Sadguru, which is the basis of the galloping pace at which the mission is now happening. And therefore, if the mission has to be sustained, that kind of missionaries are required eternally, not today only. For centuries, this has to be there. And Swami Vivekananda said that he had foreseen the future of Ramakrishna mission for 500 years. He said it is going to be sustained for 500 years. And this legacy of selflessness is what attracts funds. See, at this point of time, I would also like to offer my personal gratitude to those selfless people all over the world who supported this mission with their funds. Otherwise, this kind of wonderful work of so many institutions coming up in a very short time could not have happened. But why did they give? Only two reasons. One is, this is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba has inspired this mission. And then there is a master at the helm of affairs who is absolutely selfless, but who means business. See, this is very important. See, many organizations can have at the helm of affairs masters, but would they mean business is a big question mark. He means business. If you invest something, much more should come out of it. If we invest on our students, they should become such men and women who will take this mission forward. And in men and women, naturally, as Sadguru pointed out in the Atma Samiksha sessions, there are missionaries who give 100% to the mission. The second is functionaries. And the third is employees. And fourth, I would like to add volunteers who come. The missionaries are completely fired by the idealism of their master. And I am telling you, many of these boys and girls decided to become missionaries, not because of anything else, because of their gratitude and love for Sadguru. They decided, we want to follow in his footsteps. He has done so much for us, at least let us offer our lives. See, that is the kind of dedication we are finding. And functionaries cannot give 100%. If they have their own families, naturally they cannot give their 100%, maybe maximum 80% they may give, but 20% they have to give for their families. There are employees who may not have any idealism, who may come for jobs, but volunteers are fully fired by idealism again, that we want to do something, that is why they also come. But the nucleus of this mission are the missionaries. And when the numbers go on increasing, the potential of the work that mission can achieve is endless. And this is what Madhusudan Sai Bhatt wanted. And I, on behalf of all the Tyagajivis who are sitting here, my brothers who live, with whom I live, we offer, as the followers of Madhusudan Sai Bhatt, our very sincere gratitude to you, Swami, for having given us some kind of fulfillment in life. We never ever thought that this could have happened. We never ever thought. But all this is divine design. As Baba told Sadguru one of these days, it is not my mission, it is not your mission, it is his mission, the Lord of the universe. With these words I conclude and pray to Sadguru for his benediction on this wonderful evening. Thank you very much. Sai Ram to you.
One of my favorite Upanishads is Kathopanishad, because it's about a curious young lad who is not scared of anything including death. He questions his own father about his unrighteous ways, gets punished, and is cursed by him to die. But even when he meets Yamadharmaraja, he is unfazed in the face of death and calamity of meeting the very god of death. He waits for him to return and asks his questions. And when Yamadharmaraja realizes that there is something different about this boy, he is not ordinary. And he wants to know the secret of life and death and what lies beyond. Something that Yamadharmaraja is not willing to reveal because that is his, in a way, trade secret. But he insists. Dharmaraja tempts. I'll give you this, I'll give you that. Take all the pleasures that are available in the earth and in the heavens and live for as long as you want. Have as many children and grandchildren, properties. Rule the earth for 1,000 years. And those which are not available, also I will bring it from my heavens to help you enjoy. And Nachiketa listens to it all. It gives him a patient hearing. And then he says, I'm not convinced. Because whatever you are promising me, it's going to end at some point in time. This is not immortality. Sarvendriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha, he said. I will enjoy this world with all my senses, totally, intensely I will enjoy, let us say. You give me wine, women, wealth, all pleasures of this world, and the heavens. He says even Apsaras I'll get you for, and Nritya Gite, and all kinds of vehicles, all kinds of servants. Name it, he says. He says, but one day this body, this mind, everything will fade away because it will get old. Shobhava, he says. It won't be there tomorrow. Yes, 1,000 years is a good enough, a long period. But after 1,000 years, you will be waiting for me again. So I don't want your offerings. You rather tell me that which confuses and deludes even the devatas. They don't know about it. Only you know. Some people say it exists. Some people say it does not exist. What is that? Since you will stand at the threshold of birth and death, you alone know what is the truth. What happens? Do we really die? And after death, do we really go to heavens? And after that, are we born again? Is there an end to this cycle of birth and death? Is there a redemption from this curse of being born and going to die again? Is there anything else other than that which we know already? My father seeks heaven. He performs yajna yagas and fake danas, hoping that he will be destined to live in a heaven where there is no hunger, there is no thirst, there is only enjoyment. He wants to enjoy the heaven. But I don't want to. Nor I want to be on the earth if I am to go die again. Tell me that which takes me beyond this. He questions and questions, and actually Yamadharmaraja finally gives in. He says, I haven't got another worthy disciple like you. Sathya Sai, he says. You are so steady in your pursuit for the truth that you don't listen to anything. You are not tempted by anything. I tried to bribe you into so many ways. But being young and at the threshold of youth, you are not tempted by anything. You truly deserve to know this knowledge, he says. Others don't deserve. Ascharyo vakata kushala asya labdha. The speaker should be amazing. The listener also should be amazing. Otherwise, knowledge does not happen. Great guru, terrible disciples. Terrible guru, great disciples. It doesn't work. Both have to be great. So Nachiketa was like that. And what amazes me is the very first opening lecture, though from the second chapter, he says it all begins with making choices. See how simple. What happens after death? Do we attain immortality? And what does it take to attain immortality? Keep aside. Let's begin from the very basics, Dharmaraja says. It's about making choices, Nachiketa. And there are good choices and there are bad choices. And whatever choice you make, that defines what you experience at the end of the road. Simple. Shreyascha mreyascha manushyametat tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. Shreyo vidhiro preyaso vrinete preyo hi mando yogakshema adrunite, he says. Two paths exist in front of you. Shreyaha, preyaha. Shreya is that which is glorious, which is right, which is ultimate truth, which is the right thing to do. And preya, which is pleasant, which is easy, which is comfortable. Two paths exist in front of you and they present themselves at every step in your life. What does a wise, discriminating one like Nachiketa do? Shreyo vidhiro abhipreyaso vrinite. Shreya is the path that dhira, the discriminating one, loves, preyaso vrinite, and accepts it, chooses it. Because he loves that path of right. Verse says, preyo hi mando yogakshema adrunite. The preya marga, or the easy path, the pleasant one, may not be right, but pleasant. Who chooses? Mando, a dull-headed, dull-witted, a fool. Why? Yogakshema adrunite, because he thinks his welfare lies in this path. Only if he chooses the pleasant and the easy one, will he be secure in the future? Will he have all the pleasures? Will he have all the comforts? Will he be happy? He thinks like that and thinks his yoga kshema. Yoga means that you earn, kshema means that you preserve. Earning and preserving is the way of life for a fool, says Kathopanishad. So make the right choice. Yamadharma Raja does not explain philosophy. He says, make the right choice now. And every time you make a right choice, you are inching closer towards that truth that you are asking me for. The redemption from the birth and death and the misery and all that thing of this world. And eternal freedom. Every time you are making the right choice, you are getting closer. So that's all he begins the discourse with. He doesn't say Atma, Anatma, Viveka, Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampati. Nothing here tells Yama. Viveka Chudamani starts there. All this Chatushtaya you should have. Sadhana Chatushtaya. Then only you begin this journey. Yamadharma says, no, don't get that far. Begin with making simple, straight choices in life. Good versus bad. Shreya versus Prem. How simple and how profound. And of course, the rest of the Kathopanishad just carries on from there. So this Atma Samiksha that we had organized, it was about telling you how to make a choice. And when you make a choice, there is a consequence to a choice, which you should own up. Every choice comes with consequences. And I'm not saying this choice is right or wrong for you. It depends on your temperament, your disposition, your placement in life, your Purva Janma Prarabdhas, and also Guru's grace and your dedication to the Guru. So many things come together to help you make a choice. Choice does not happen like that. A lot of things happens in the background. So not truly that you make the choice all the time. There are a lot of your instincts, your vasanas, your samskaras. Everything comes together, your prarabdha, that makes you make the choice. So that is how people make choices in life, good and bad, whichever way it goes. So our whole education should be able to help us make the right choice. Whenever it presents itself, Preya and Shreya Marga, our education should help you to overcome your prarabdhas, vrittis, samskaras, purvajanma dukshkruta, sukruta, all your everything of the past should be able to help you overcome all of that, override all of that and still make the right choice in the face of all the baggage of the past. If you make the right choice, obviously your life is going to be the life of freedom. That is what Kathopanishad says. Atamartyo amruto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. Then and there you realize God, you become God. There is no delay. There is no delay. You then and there, the moment you make the right choice, you attain the right results, you are desireless and you are God. Then and there it says. There is no delay. Everything else is delayed in this world. You start something, it takes some months to achieve that. But attaining Brahman is instant for those who have made the right choice of being desireless and selfless in life. Now that happens by marrying, not marrying, all this can be debated. I've seen a lot of unmarried with so many desires. So many married who are so selfless. So that is not the debate, the point of debate. Point of debate is selflessness versus selfishness. That's the point of debate. Desirelessness versus desirousness. That's all defines the Preya and Shreya Marga. If you can be selfless by, like Janaka, having a family and everything else and all the encumbrances, a a kingdom to run, many battles to fight, no problem. You're still a Shreya. And the other side, you might be a sannyasi, like say Vishwamitra in his earlier days. And yet you are so desirous of everything. Then we have this, who is that who gets angry all the time, like me? Durvasa, great sage, but absolutely egoistic. What do you do with these people, I say? So the Jivana, Tyaga Jivana I told is about total selflessness, 100%, without holding anything for yourself, totally available to the cause of selflessness. That is Tyaga Jivana. How you want to do it, it's up to you. But that's what I was trying to explain to them, that this choice to remain selfless, it doesn't come easy. The Shreyo Marga is not easy. Long back, I was telling Bhagavan, we are working so hard to do good work. Why is it so difficult? He said, when did I say good work is easy? It is difficult only. It is not easy. Easy is that Preyo Marga. But they are like sweet berries but poisonous at the end. And Shreyo Marga is bitter berries but healthy at the end. So this is how it works, he said. This is how the world is. Anyway, that we accept it. So choosing to be selfless in your life comes with a lot of things in it. Lot of your Purva Janma, Vasanas, Prarabdhas, everything will come. That will play a role. It will have its own weightage. Then what is your present life, what you are doing? The karmas, the Sanchita karmas, which are now also going to be functioning in your life. And the guidance of Guru, right education, right systems, everything. That also will help you make a decision. So you have to be aware that it's not just you make a decision like this. If you instinctively make decisions, it's driven by your prarabdha karmas. If you cautiously make decision, it's driven by your current upbringing, current training, and Guru's grace, of course. So is it possible to change our way of making decisions? Of course, yes. More informed decisions are always useful. Instinctive decisions are no good. Informed decisions. How does informed decision happen? Through education. Right kind of education. What he told, how nicely he told, Premamrutham Sai. Muktim ichchasi chetat. Are you really serious about your liberation? Or are you just fooling around? If you're serious, then why are you not doing things that lead you there? Why are you just doing something else? How simple. Ask where you want to go and you know which bus to catch. If you're sitting in another bus, obviously you have to ask yourself a question. Is this the bus that will take me there? Am I serious about going there? If I'm not serious, then why I am here? Be serious, be sincere. So Mukti Michhi, are you really serious about it? If you're serious, then you do the right things. They make the right choices. But sometimes we don't know what is the right way of doing things. So we need a guru, we need guidance, we need satsanga, we need scriptures. We need education. We need education that helps us, enables us, empowers us to make the right choice. But are you serious is the first question. If you're not serious, there's no point. Are you serious like Nachiketa? I am not tempted by whatever you give me. I am not bothered about it. You up the offer, I become stronger in my resistance. I am not going to budge. Because he was very serious. Mukti michchasi chetat. He was very serious. He wants to liberate himself. Are we having that seriousness? Some children have written, why is that I don't have that mumukshutva? Why is it that I don't have devotion for you like many of my classmates? Why is it that I can't surrender myself to you like many do? And this question is not new to me. When I was studying also, there were classmates who used to say, how come you are so devoted to Bhagavan? I don't feel that devotion in my heart. Classmates were there who used to say, because they had come from different backgrounds from everywhere. Most of them came for an education. So they used to ask, why am I not feeling? Sincerely they were asking, why am I not feeling the devotion? You are so devoted to him. Why am I not devoted? As I said, prarabdhas are there. Purva Janma Sukritas are there. Guru's Anugraha is there. So many things. And then the education. And then your Shraddha in it, your efforts in it. So many things have to come together to help you make the right choices in life. I am only trying to help you make informed choice. Here, through this education, through these platforms, through this mission. And if it helps you to make the right choice, very good. You will have the right results at the end. But I already have told you what is the answer to the question. The answer is total selflessness. Not an iota of selfishness. That is perfection. That is divinity. Can you be selfless totally? I'm just asking you. If a teacher has his own child studying in the same class as all other children, Can the teacher be totally unbiased? Can the teacher teach all the children in the class with the same affection and impartiality as he does to his own child? Will he be concerned about every child's welfare equally and not discriminate between his and their other children? No, it's not possible. Not possible at all. Somewhere deep, one thought will be there. What is my son doing? What is my daughter doing? Is he studying equally well? If not doing well, call him aside and say, what are you doing? Come, I'll take an extra class for you. Not possible. If you're a doctor, of course you're giving your very best to every patient. If it's your father admitted under your care, you are to do surgery. You will take 10 steps extra, make 10 extra arrangements to ensure nothing goes wrong because your father is so dear to you. Will you make the similar amount of efforts for every another patient, faceless, nameless, voiceless patient? That extra care will you take? That's the question that I ask. You cook food. When you cook food to serve your own loved ones on your birthday party, with lot of love you cook that food. Your child, it should eat well. His likes, dislikes, a mother I am saying. Will she cook the same amount of love, same effort for an orphanage where 100 children are going to eat? How is it possible when you have any personal relationship in life, it weighs on your decision making. It weighs on your totality of selflessness. It interferes with your complete desirelessness. Not possible. That is why I was telling them, see, you have to make a choice at some point in life. And no choice is, as I said, good or bad. The choice is a choice. It will have its consequences. But if I demand total selflessness, whatever way you can be totally selfless, choose that path. But if tomorrow your relationships, your choices are coming in the way of your desirelessness and selflessness, then it's a bad choice that you've made. So my question is that, are you so capable that you will have all the relationships, friendships, attachments in the world and yet you be desireless? Is it possible is the question. Not possible. The lesser the desires, the lesser attachments, lesser relationships, the more selfless you can be. But the perfection of selflessness happens only when it's 100%. 99% won't get you God. 100% only will get you God. That's why in my subject, passing marks are 100%. Thank God you are not in my class, you will be thinking. Already 65% is like one thing weighing on their neck. The other day, some teachers were telling, I told, how is the children behaving again around the 65% rule? They said, there's so much anxiety is there, so much of trouble. I told, why are they anxious? No, if they don't get 65%. I told, are they here to study or not? Why are they even worried about 65%? Is it not about gaining knowledge? Knowledge of the subject. 65% knowledge is good enough for knowledge. They should be aiming for knowledge, not for percentage. If you do aim for knowledge, percentages will happen, I told. See, they are doing well. When they stop thinking of percentage and actually go behind the knowledge, they start gaining knowledge also and doing well, percentages happen. But my subject is 100% passing marks. So if you, likewise, if you look at each other, how many of them are distinction, how many, there is no distinction, no first class, no second class, no, only fail or pass. 0 or 1 is binary. With God, it is always binary. Either you are devotee or not a devotee. I am half devotee, half, doesn't work. You are on the way. I can accept you also. Yes, all children in the class have not graduated. Some are learning. That's fine. That's fine. But what was demanded of me for this mission was total selflessness. I said, absolutely you have to be selfless. Whether it's about your family, it's about any family, treat them all as equal. Treat them, that is why I am able to accept. See, Bhagavan's heart was very big. He accepted everybody else. But I am learning, I am a disciple, I was an apprentice. 2014-15 I am telling. I didn't like people, I judged them. These are not good devotees, they don't follow everything. These are good ones, they are less troublemakers. But he accepted everybody. And I used to wonder, how? How? Because his heart was so big. He's totally selfless. I learned slowly, it took a lot of effort to overcome your personality traits, your ideas of right, wrong, judgments, inhibitions, lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort. But till I thought of my people like my own family as also mine and others as others, didn't happen. The day I just gave up on that idea that I also have a family or somebody I am responsible for, everything changed. Everything changed. That took some years to go there. So it is about being desireless, it is about being selfless, totally, zero selfishness. So what, yesterday I gave an example, and that to say, 4 kinds of people exist in any organization or country. I said, I give them one problem. Let's say your country has been attacked by a neighboring country, which is very much possible in nowadays, what's going on. Now you have 4 choices. 1, you enroll into the army, go fight the war at the borders, try to save the country. But there's a good chance you'll get killed or you come back with a leg or a hand missing, and country may still not win the war. The second option is you are actually going to help the war. You don't going to fund the war, but you're not going to the war. You say, I don't want to go to the war. Why? Because I may die. If we win the war and if I die, that's still okay because my family is looked after. But if I lose the war and I am also dead or a handicap, who will take care of my family? So I'll fund the war. I will sell my jewelry, gold, land, whatever I have assets. I'll give my very best to fund the war and help the government and the army win the war. But I will not go to the war because if I die, who will look after my people? That too when we lose the war. The third option I gave is you leave the country saying wars are inevitable. They are going to happen. Let us escape. First flight out, first boat out, vanish with the family. I know you'll lose all your lands and properties and buildings and all. But then who knows, if war country wins, you can always come back later and restart from there. Otherwise, set up your new life in a new country. At least you are alive. Jaan hai, to jahan hai. You will survive somehow. Fourth option I gave was, just wait and watch. Don't participate. Don't say anything. Don't go around giving patriotic speeches, nor sell any assets. Just wait and watch. If you win the war, nobody questions. Life is going on. Money is there with you. Your properties are not sold. You never funded any war. You are safe. And if you lose the war, still you have money and property with you. At least you can deal with the enemy better. But that will demand that you change your religion, change your philosophy, change your ideologies. Anything can happen if you lose a war to a very dangerous or deadly enemy who believes in totally different philosophy. You understand what I said? So I told these are 4 choices. You can come back to me. What's your choice? 52% of the audience, they were I think close to how many, 1,000 people plus, more than that maybe. They chose, I'll go to the war. I'll fight, win or lose, we will see later. 52%. 35% said, I will not go to the war, I will stay at home, but I'll give everything of mine, money to fund the war. Let the government fight the war, army fight the war. I'll be here, I'll give every support. Some other people I think didn't understand the question correctly. They philosophize saying that everything is Maya, war, no war, life goes. So they gave some answers like that also. Bhagavan says everything you have to accept in life, war, no war, all are our people, Pakistan kya hai, India kya hai, China kya hai, everybody is ours. No, they didn't understand the question properly, they philosophized it. So I'll remove all those 10% wrong answers there. But some people said, we'll just wait and watch. Some people said, we will leave the country and hopefully later come back or help it. So I told you, there are 4 types of people in this organization. The first ones are idealists. They are driven by idealism. They don't think, how will we achieve this? What does it take to achieve this? What if we fail? They don't think. They put everything at the stake, go for it. They are the ones who change the world. That's truth. So they don't think, calculate too much. They're idealists. The second type of people are pragmatists. They know there is a possibility of losing the war. There is a possibility this mission will fail. There is a possibility tomorrow our salaries won't be paid. There is a possibility Sadguru may not be there tomorrow to look after us. So let us also make our own arrangements, Make sure there is a plan B, there are things. And our families are not in trouble tomorrow just because we jumped into the war. So they also make arrangements. They'll support the mission, but they will not join the war. So thus far, not further time. They are pragmatists. Like in India's freedom struggle, Mahatma Gandhi ji gave up everything, jumped into the full freedom struggle. He almost sacrificed his family, children, everybody. Job, became a beggar. But there are others like Jamnalal Bajaj ji and so many more who funded the war, who helped the Mahatma go around talking, preaching, and there were people like that who supported the efforts. Then there were Subhash Chandra Boses also who left the country, but they built a army and tried to come back and win the war. So there are many approaches to committing to nations. So the second part is pragmatists. Third type of people are escapists. Problem comes, till problem has not arrived, we will keep quiet, everything looks good. The moment problem is, first escape. Those also exist in the system and mission. And the fourth ones are opportunists. Let us see where it goes. If it goes this way, we'll simply tail along. If it goes that way, we'll modify ourselves. Whatever is in our best interest, we'll do. Opportunists. They also are part of organizations. In India also they exist. So I told the first type of people who have that idealism alone can be missionaries, who are ready to stake it all. They didn't think, what about my children, my wife, my mother, father, my family? If war, ends in a bad way, we lose the war, and I'm also dead. They don't calculate this much. They go for it. They are the people of God. They are the people of the country. They are idealists. The two are pragmatists. They are good. People are there also supporting the mission in every possible way, but they can't jump into the fire. They are very clear. But they are also support. They are also helping. 35% of the kids said, we would like to support the mission this way. We'll give everything to the mission, not ourselves, that's all. I said, fine, that is also good, 35%. The remaining two, I don't know what they understood and replied like that. But the third type of people who what I call as escapists are employee category. So first is missionary, second is functionary. Functionary means I am part of the mission, but not that I will not marry, I will not give, I will marry, I will settle down, I will do everything, but I will give my 100% efforts to whatever efforts I have, I will put in. Third is employees. Employees are those, as long as I am paid salary, as long as there is no problem here, my promotions are coming, I will work. The moment some crisis happens, I will find another job, go elsewhere. They have no loyalty towards anything. First two are loyal, third one is not. And the fourth is opportunist. You won't even know what he's thinking. These are those enemies in disguise. Ghar ka bedi, lanka dhaye dese. These are those mean-minded, cheap-minded people who are always here for mujhe kya mil sakta hai? How do I get best? How many wars India lost because of such people, traitors, who leak the secrets of where to attack, which gate to enter from, what are the secrets of the fort. They leaked all the secrets to the enemy for a few petty paltry gains. They are opportunists. So I told you, the organization has first two type of people, it will still grow and thrive. But if the organization is the second two type of people, it will perish. So in the first, if possible, give everything possible, do. Can't, at least be in the second category. But don't be in the third and the fourth category. That's not good for anybody, any organization, any country. So I was trying to inspire, making choices. My first choice is I'll give everything to the mission, including myself. I have no other desires. I mean, when I talk about this topic, there is so much of, I don't know, people feel scandalized. My God, he's going to make sannyasis out of every boy and girl in the ashram. I am a sannyasi. That doesn't trouble you? If somebody else is becoming, it troubles you? Hypocrites. Hypocrites. People who bug me, get my son married, get my daughter married, get my son married. I tell them, he wants to live a life of service. She wants to dedicate herself to the mission. Allow her. After all, you are also devoted people to this mission. No. He will work, she will work. But don't push him to become a sannyasi like you. I said, then what respect you truly have for me, you tell me. Are you really devoted? Are you really respectful for what I do? It means you don't have true respect for me. You are escapist, opportunist type. I don't want such people, I told. Rather be open and honest. So I told children, you have to make choices. Your parents should not make choices for you on these matters. You make a choice, how I want to lead my life. And whatever is your calling, follow. I'll support you, whichever way. But be in only the first two categories. Either be a missionary or functionary, as I call them. Means either be an idealist or a pragmatist. Other two should not exist in this institution. If you find them, please find ways to deal with it, Of course, there's no, but everybody is our family, one world, one family. So does it mean you'll tie a snake around your neck like Shiva and roam around? Are you capable of that? Shiva can handle the snake, can you? Pragmatism, that's what I'm saying. Idealism plus pragmatism is what will lead the mission to its glory. So why Swamiji came, I don't know if I have time because today, Swamiji came, he was telling me, I have seen a lot of changes in your mission in the last few years, he said. Because he's been coming from those days, 2015-16 onwards. And he has watched. He's a careful observer of everything, keen learner. And he's very smart and very educated Swamiji. He's a pro-chancellor of Vivekananda University. So he told, I've seen a lot of changes. Some of them are very bold, he said. I said, oh, I'm glad you observed that. He said, where did you find the courage to do it, he said. You must be very bold to take such decisions. I said, yeah, I'm quite bold. Where does the courage come from? I said, from my righteousness, from my sense of doing the right thing. I know this is right, it should be done. And Bhagavan told me way back, he told, believe in your intuition, trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. That will guide you. So I trusted my intuition. And it brought me a lot of brickbats also. Bouquets came, of course. A lot of brickbats. He takes all the decision as he desires. Bhagavan is not there to take decision. He does as he pleases. He's become arrogant. He's usurped the legacy of Sathya Sai Baba, pushed him out of the doors, and he has become the new boss. All kinds of things I've heard. From the 2011-12 days when people wrote red ink letters, you see what we will do to you. Step out of the ashram and we will tell you. 2, we will file legal case on you for telling all these things that Sathya Sai Baba is guiding you. All kinds of things I have seen. First I used to worry. But then I thought, why should I worry? Because we are doing the right thing. Right choice. Shreya. That is why we are dhira. Only dhiras can choose Shreya Marga. Dhira also means courageous people, not just discriminating, but also with dhairya, with courage to follow the right thing. So unless you have belief in the righteousness and courage to follow that, nothing happens in the world, nothing changes. So he was very admiring of whatever happened, and he was telling Swami Vivekananda had such very lofty ideals. He said immense idealism with immense pragmatism is what is needed. Both should be there. And he was telling, and we had a long discussion behind the stage, and he was telling a lot of these things I'm seeing are very bold decisions. Changing over to different education system, calling ourselves one world, one family, departing from the either Sathya Sai, Madhusudan Sai or Loka Seva, older nomenclatures, teaching children new things which did not exist before, taking them abroad, exposing them to world cultures, allowing world to enter here. And he said, you know, you have done a very drastic and very decisive approach to the mission, because from person-centric mission, you made it into an idea-centric. Otherwise, it's all about if the Guru is there, life goes on. Guru is not there, everybody goes away. So he told, earlier I saw everybody, if Sathya Sai Baba says this, because he's been going to Puttaparthi also. So he knows the entire timeline. Only if he says or does, people do things. If nothing is, nobody does anything. I noticed that, he said. I've met people, but there was very person-centric approach to the whole thing. Too much bhakti was there. I said, very right, you have at least identified diagnosed it correctly. Bhakti without jnana is very dangerous. Jnana without bhakti is also no use. Bhakti plus jnana and plus karma is the model. He said, that's exactly what Swami Vivekananda wanted. Bhakti, jnana, karma, all should be combined, synthesized, harmonized. That is the way of a good mission. Karma, everybody is doing service. So many organizations don't do service. Everybody is doing with devotion, not to one guru or one God, to the idea of supreme Godhood. That everybody is divine, everyone divine decides, I am serving the divine. Guru is facilitator, a catalyst. But it is not the end goal of their work. And third thing, they are learning Vedanta, they understand so many philosophies. Not easy, he said. This all combined together is the hope for the world. Coming from somebody who has spent all his life in a mission that is meant to do this, and analyzing it and saying it was very encouraging. But what was the most encouraging part was that he did say, when Swami Vivekananda was told to talk about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa in his Chicago visits and all that, he didn't speak. So his Guru Bhais accused him of not being the true disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, because he didn't speak about Ramakrishna, he was promoting himself, is what his own Guru Bhais told him. And he said, what should I speak of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa to these people, dollar worshippers? What do they understand of his glory is what Swami Vivekananda said. Whom am I going to speak about? They don't deserve to listen about him, he said. No, Swami Vivekananda was another. But what I'm saying is that Swami Vivekananda had to make bold of whatever his heart's convictions were. And he didn't bother about what the world thinks. That's when he made such a, whatever difference he made in his life. He went to the other side of the seas, right? People called it self-promotion because Ramakrishna was not there anymore. So nobody knew who gave him the instruction to go overseas. And crossing the seas was considered as a sin. When he came back, he was not allowed to enter Dakshineshwar, where he really grew up under the tutorship of. He never entered Dakshineshwar once he came back to India from his Chicago visit. Can you believe that? Well, I have not been to places that I have grown up in. Never allowed to. But that is how bold he was. Dakshineshwar is not important. What Ramakrishna had told him to do was important. That meant going overseas, getting cursed, accused, and not being allowed into Dakshineshwar ever again. So he made an ashram on the other side of the river and would see Dakshineshwar from that far, have darshan of Dakshineshwar like that. Never went back to see Mother Kali in Dakshineshwar. But bold man, that boldness, that fearlessness comes from that selflessness only. If you're not selfless, you can't be this fearless. So yes, that is what I was teaching in the last 2 days to all these people of Atma Samiksha, that this is what it takes. Be fearless. But you will be selfless, you will be fearless. And you have to have faith in God to be selfless. God will take care. If I choose God, God will choose me. And that is how things happen. Don't worry about my future. Like temptations like Nachiketa was being given. Take this, take that, everything, but don't ask God. No, I'll say I'll take God only. I don't want any of these things. Then I told that all the other missions have gone through a lot of trouble. People are not looked after very well. Here everything is being done. I have studied all the missions, understood what were the shortcomings, where are the fault lines, why it didn't work. I studied everything. I studied the Christian missions. I studied, of course, Francis's Assisi mission, which is little different from the regular Catholic Christian mission. I studied Ramakrishna mission. I've read books on them. And I made my own analysis. I studied Sathya Sai mission because I was a part of it. I am a part of it in a different way. But what was happening earlier, I studied that very carefully. Keenly I have observed. I have studied Buddhism and how the monkhood comes. I studied Jainism and how they are encouraging young people to join the monkhood. I studied at least these many very closely. I have observed what happens, what goes wrong. Is it applicable in our situation? Will our children respond to this? Will their parents agree to this? Will the general audience, general devotees appreciate this? All that I have thought and finally come to some kind of this thing. That it has to be a good balance of everything. Balance of everything. That is the right way. Moderation and balance. But yes, there will be missionaries who will give their everything to the mission, just like I have done, Narasimhamurthy had done, and there is no shame in it, there is no guilt, there is no fear in it. It's not a word that don't speak about it. No, we should speak about it. But also speak about the other part, that yes, I can't be that way, I can't be Narasimhamurthy, but I can be somebody who can still be there, supported wholeheartedly. I am perfectly okay with that. And then those who just wait and watch what's going on, if we benefit. That kind of people we don't want here. What if this Sadguru dies tomorrow or something happens to him? What about us? Let us keep our second plan Bs ready. Such people don't go anywhere in life. Because I know God is driving this mission. And beyond me also this mission will continue as long as God is driving it. So I have no problem with that. That's why there is no fear. So people from outside, when they see, they realize how bold and how courageous all these things are. And some of the decisions we have taken for the good of all. Moving away from just bhakti, person-centric bhakti, to a little more larger, broader understanding of para bhakti. Moving away from one person-centric worship and approach to a larger understanding of presence of God in all. Now, these are all very practical efforts that have been put. I'm just trying to explain so that people understand what he was telling Narasimhamurthy sir, that what changes were made. Again, I said, you may not still, as kids, understand the depth of all this, but as you reap results in some time from now, you will understand all this happened because all that happened earlier. So you will see that later, and you will understand, appreciate, but nevertheless, the one who comes to save the world, what is that quote? He has to share its pain. That's how it happens. You have to carry your cross, I have to carry my cross, and world is never forgiving. The world has always been like that. It was never a nicest place. But we are trying to change it, 1% at a time. Hopefully, in a couple of years from now, beyond you and me also, this will carry on. That is the hope. That is why it's important to keep hope, keep faith, and keep doing what you have got to do today. And tomorrow will be looked after. So don't think too far and worry about your future. Everybody's future is safe. As long as you believe in God, the greater power, that is at work. All right? So please place your faith in that greater power, not in forms and names. I know it's a huge, difficult transition for many people. I know that. Somebody wrote to me, I said, if there was any problem I had with Sathya Sai name or Sathya Sai form or Sathya Sai legacy, why do you think Sathya Sai would choose me and not you? The very fact that he chose me among millions is because he knew that there is somebody who can take this forward in the way it should be. And then he only told me, when I told him earlier also, he said, Adi ayipoyindi, adi appadiki, idi ippadiki. That is over, that is for then, this is for now. So Shirdi Baba was installed in Puttaparthi, but Sathya Sai Baba was followed. Sathya Sai Baba is involved in installing Muddenahalli, but they'll follow the Sadguru. That is how it is designed. And movement is happening. Karma, bhakti, jnana. And there's ultimately the combination of everything. So spiritual evolution is happening on the sides of, just mission is not growing in service way. It is also growing spiritually. I saw the depth in our children. The depth, we didn't have this depth. I studied also UG, PG, everything. Didn't have this depth. I had bhakti, lot of Muda bhakti was there in a way. One day I was going home for holidays. In the train, there was somebody sitting, and just to make sure that the other person knows that I am a student of Sathya Sai Baba, I pulled out this book, put it on his face, and the cover says, God lives in India, of R.K. Karanjia. Foolish adamants of a stupidity you call. Because that person, I wanted to impress upon him, and I wanted him to start a conversation. Who is this God who lives in India? Then I'll give him a full download of Sathya Sai Baba. They do all these things even today. People do. And that is their joy, let them do. And from those ideas to today, when I think that everything should be seen through the lens of Vedanta, and forms and names automatically become a part of that understanding. And everything nicely, harmoniously gels, and there are no conflicts. It's a much larger, broader understanding of spirituality. That's what has been given to me. So this is what I do, and I know some people may appreciate, some people may not, depending on their backgrounds, previous associations, and the luggage that they carry even today. But for me, this is what it is. And I felt very emboldened after Swamiji said, you are very bold. You have made a lot of drastic changes in this place. Did people not object? They did not take offense? Because I see that you removed a lot of photos and a lot of other things. I said, yeah, I did that because I'm trying to teach them something greater than just worshipping a name and form. While that will help you start the journey, that doesn't help you end the journey. But you will learn. So this is how slowly, steadily it grows. So I know what I'm doing, and I know God is doing it through us. And everybody is a part of this great, great, beautiful vision for the new world, which Swami Vivekananda thought, but unfortunately in his lifetime he couldn't do it, which Shankaracharya envisaged, but he only achieved so much, which the great philosophers of this country and the world have thought about, but couldn't achieve. But this is our opportunity now to do it well, do it sincerely, do it with all of it. Don't withhold anything. Just give it your everything and see a glory will follow everyone. With these words I'll conclude. Already I've spoken too much. I think I'm getting into the bad habit of speaking too much.
सर्वसुगुणसिन्धवे सकलसुजनबन्धवे सर्वसुगुणसिन्धवे सकलसुजनबन्धवे गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय सर्वलोकहितरताय सर्वमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय ब्रह्मज्ञानबोधकाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् सत्यसायिनः प्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय सत्यसायिनः प्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय नित्यशुद्धनिर्मलाय नित्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तजना संरक्षक पति महेश्वर ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमो मर्यन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मर्यन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयना ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा सद्गुरु साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंदुको मंगल हारति अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ॐ जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ॐ नारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण ॐ जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ॐ नारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण ॐ जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ॐ नारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण ॐ सत्यनारायण नारायण जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय जय बोलो सद्गुरु श्री मधुसूदन साई जी की जय